I think you should hear this.
Sweet.
I'm actually pretty excited, dude. It's not very often you get to just like sit and just chat with someone for, over an hour. So
Yeah, 100%.
Excited, bro.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
Welcome to I Think You Should Hear This, a podcast exploring people's journeys of growth, adversity, and self-discovery. For this episode, I have with me Daniel Courts.
Good day.
Thanks for joining me, bro.
Thanks for having me, brothers.
You may know him as, or have seen him on Instagram as Spiritual Concepts, which has been a recent change for you. When did you change the name to that?
That was probably only about a month ago, I reckon.
A month.
Yeah, I think I started as Woke Bloke. Yeah. I think it was the original one, but yeah, Spiritual Concept felt good.
Yeah. It's been so sick to watch all the stuff coming up. So just, do you want to explain to them what the Instagram page is about?
Yeah. So, well, originally I just wanted to start posting just the concepts of spirituality. I loved it. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to start doing my little part and start just sending out videos. And then, I didn't expect it to like grow or anything like that. And then it just started like growing and growing and growing. And I was like, all right, this is getting pretty cool. So changed it from Woke Bloke to Spiritual Concepts. And then,
Cool. Yeah. So like Dan's been posting more spiritual stuff and amassed a bit of a following. So it's up over the 3,000 follower mark now, which is meteoric really when you think about it. Like from not consciously trying to do it to the way it's going, it'd be crazy to see where it is in another few months. Yeah.
Who knows? I'm not like chasing after like a huge following or nothing like that. I just want to spread the good word. That's the whole like.
I think that's why it works. It's organic.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I really want to like touch on the whole spiritual concepts and what you're building with your website and stuff. But I'd love to go back to the start because obviously you weren't always spiritually inclined. For those who may know you from just Dan, explain to them maybe what Dan was like, or is like what you were like growing up, teenage years before spirituality was front of mind.
Yeah, I guess I was just as normal as everyone else in this sort of Frankston area. I was a high energetic kid growing up. From primary school, I got diagnosed with ADHD. As a lot of people these days are realising they've got. I was highly energetic. I guess through high school, I was in that sort of popular guy fucking niche. Like,
Feels so comfortable to say.
It does, bro, because it's just not who I am anymore. But I guess at that time it felt like that was the be all and end all to be that popular kid. But unfortunately, in that sort of scene, that ends up, around here, that ends up growing into that whole like party scene and that whole like drinking and that culture, which I was just so heavily embedded in as well.
Yeah.
So I guess people seeing the stuff I'm doing on Instagram now, they'd be like, what the fuck has just happened to this dude?
What other drugs is he on?
What the hell's happened? Because I guess like there was a big moment when I was about 22 and like I'd been going out and like crazy, partying on drugs and fucking staying up till the next Sunday and kept going and all that sort of thing. And then it was hit like a Monday and I was at trade school at the time and it just hit me all at once and I was like, I fucking had enough of this shit. So I ended up calling my old lady and they didn't really know at the time like how deeply embedded I was like into that whole like drug scene. And then called my old lady and I said, I need you to come home. So she left work and then I just ended up pouring it out to her because I just had enough. And it was a bit of a shock for them, but like that was just like a huge moment for me personally where I was able to finally like just sort of cut it and be like, all right, I've had enough of this scene. I reckon that could have been sort of the starting era of change for me, and I would have been about 23 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like if you're trying to make the change, but your friends are doing the same thing every other weekend after that?
Well, yeah, that's the hardest part, isn't it? Because, yeah, they're still sort of going out and whatnot, and you want to continue to do the same thing. It was a slow, progressive thing that, like, where we stopped going out, but then that transition to, like, just doing, like, gear and drinking and shit at home, and then, like, yeah, so that transition was a slow one, but, yeah, steadily got out of it.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, it's, you know, like you said, it comes with being a part of the area. It's just so common. Like, when we were 22, everyone was going out. It seemed that everyone that we knew was going out every weekend. It feels like it's different for the younger generation now. They're a bit more, I was going to say conscious, and they don't drink as much, which I do think is true. I also think they're a lot more anxious and scared of going out. So I don't know. There's a bit of both, but yeah,
definitely. I'm seeing that a lot of, like, the generation below us. I think it's like this computer age that's like, like, I don't know, not killing, but it's doing some, like, a fair bit of damage to some of these kids, because you see a lot that are just, like, so socially out, where they can't, like, put a sentence together and shit like that, just because they're just, like, got their heads in their screens and shit like that.
I think spending those couple of years locked inside really caused some damage to that generation. Big
time. It was actually, that COVID time, but at the same time was, like, I reckon that was pivotal to, like, a lot of people, though. Massive for me, because like before that happened, bro, I had never questioned, like, the government, or like never questioned anything outside of, like, what was going on. And then it took for that to happen, to, like, finally, I guess that was really the start of when I started getting into the spiritual stuff, because I was like, what is going on right now? Like, what are they doing? And I just felt this, like, huge distrust in, like, what was going on. At the time, Did you end up taking the jab yourself? Nah, it's the same with me and the missus. And, like, there was no incline of, like, why I shouldn't. I just felt like, nah, there's something so deeply wrong with this. So.
That was, quite literally hill I was willing to die. And I was like, come fucking lock me up. I don't care.
We got really lucky at the time. We were, Lizzie and I, we were about to go travel in Australia. So, like, when they started putting down all those laws where, like, you have to have 2 jabs or you can't work and shit like that, well, we weren't, like, we were about to not work for about 6 months while we were traveling in Australia. So we got lucky in that sense. But, like, when we were traveling all around, it was a bit hairy because we weren't allowed to be outside of Victoria.
Yeah, true. Where were you at the time? Were you in Vic still? Or?
Yeah, we're in Vic, And then, when it all went down, we had to, like, quickly cross over that border as quick as possible because the like, laws weren't as hectic in New South Wales and shit.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, I was lucky as well. Like, you know, I was saving to buy a house too, so I had, like, money to fall back on as well. It wasn't, like, the end of the world. And, like, got government payments anyway. It worked out in the end. I got offered a job, like, the day the mandates kicked in. Like, that was sweet. So just trusted divine timing, whatever you want to call it. I was looked after for, you know, going with my gut.
Yeah, well, it all ended up fine in the end, didn't it?
Dude, I was speaking to a friend about this the other day. I'm like, obviously I wish I didn't have to go through what people are going through and went through, but I'm glad it happened because it forced me to open my eyes and wake up and change. And I definitely felt like it brought out the masculine urge in me to, like, fight against things that are wrong. Rather than bow down and go, no, fuck it, I'll just get it. Go away. I was like, no, fuck that. I'm standing up. After seeing so many people go, oh, no, I'm just going to do it. I need my job. I want to go to the pub. Oh, I'm like, no, fuck.
Yeah, that was killer for me as well, bro. But, like, seeing, like, my close friends and family just going, like, no, I'm just going to do it. And just like, oh, no, like, there's something so deeply wrong about this. Actually, like, caused, like, arguments between, like, me and my family as well. Because, like, my parents, like, they're like, 60 and they just love watching the news and sort of believe what they see and all that sort of shit. And like, I remember I had an argument with my old man and he's like, you're gonna bring it home and you're gonna kill your family. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Such a wild time, bro, eh?
Yeah, no shit. It's like, oh yeah, like a cold. You serious? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to take away and make it like smaller than what it was. It was, for some people it maybe have been bad, but yeah, that was just blown way out of proportion.
Big time.
Yeah. Okay, so 22, COVID, any other big turning points?
Yeah, I guess that COVID stage is when my eyes started to open to see like the systems and the broken systems that we're in, like you live, you work, you die. And I started looking more deeply into that.
Yeah.
I guess a defining moment would have been Taylor Tonga for sure. That was the biggest like defining moment. What completely clicked my mind. So this was just after 2023 New Year's. I think we actually camped that year on the Murray.
Would have been going into 2022 was the Murray year.
Was that Murray?
Yeah.
Oh shit, no, I wouldn't have been. Then.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was like January 2023, and Taylor Tonga came around and she hits me up with this. She's like, I'm reading these books at the moment. It's Dolores Cannon, and she pitched to me saying like it's about past lives and all of this sort of stuff, and then it just intrigued me. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to start listening to those books, and then once I started, I couldn't stop, and that was the defining moment. Her just do it, like telling me to read, and I was like, something in me said to do it, did it, and then that was it.
So Dolores Cannon, what's the series or what are they called?
Yeah, fuck. She's got it's 19 books. So for people who don't know her, essentially what it is this lady, she started doing hypnotherapy, and she was just doing it with like people who needed like problems with like smoking and fucking all that like little stuff. And but she would also go back to like early life traumas to try and heal people through that. And it was just like spontaneously she was taking this girl back to her childhood, but this girl just skipped, and then her accent changed. And she started talking in an English accent, and she was like some like 30-year-old in the 1930s or something like that. Yeah, right. And then Dolores at the time was like, what the hell's going on here? And then so then Dolores started to investigate further and go into people's past lives, and then she starts going into, well, how about instead of past lives, let's see if I can speak to them while they're dead. And then she would go speak to people in the dead, and then they just open this whole sort of can of fish where,
whoa,
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, crazy. I'm just trying to like take all that in. It's so huge.
Yeah.
So like hypnotherapy, and what I like relate that to when I see it, I don't know if it's like the swinging thing. Is that like basically what it is, like what she's doing?
No, it's more like, so what hypnotherapy is pushing it. So you get somebody in the relaxed state without fucking swinging a pendulum in front of them. Get somebody in a relaxed state and just keep getting them deeper and deeper and deeper. And what the whole goal is to push away the conscious brain, which is like your thinking brain, your thoughts and all that sort of stuff. Push that away. And then once that has like completely been eliminated, then your subconscious starts to come through. And then that's who she starts to speak to.
Right.
So a lot of people who get like deeply under hypnosis, they won't remember any of the session.
Yeah, right.
It'll feel like they just went to sleep, and then they'll wake up and they'll be like, what happened? And then she would just be like, here, you said about this for about 2 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are there any recordings? Like, it'd be crazy to see, like...
Dude, I tried to look. You can find QHHT on YouTube, and like a lot of people are doing it now.
Yeah.
But as for Dolores Cannon herself, I couldn't find nothing like of her own recordings, because this was in like the 1960s, by the way. So I don't think there was videos and shit. She used to have like what she called like a little black recording box. Yeah. And then she used to write like listening to that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's wild. 1960s is an interesting time when they had like the MK Ultra stuff as well. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Imagine like pairing those up.
I don't know much about the MK Ultra, to be honest, though.
That's when like the scientists were like, you know, dosing people up with acid and experimenting on them and seeing how they would react with like ridiculous doses.
Jesus.
Yeah, like, and they reckon that that's why Marilyn Manson was like the way he was, and that's why he was like giving the Manson family acid, because that's what they were doing to him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It was like mind manipulation.
Yeah. They were thinking that they could manipulate people's minds and control them with acid, basically.
Shit.
Yeah, and which is wild.
wild.
Have you seen Stranger Things?
Yes.
That lab.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing on.
Right.
You know how
they always put those little things in movies, hey,
Yeah.
where it's just like kind of the actual truth.
Yeah, like what's the girl from Stranger Things, the main one? I don't know what she's called. 11?
Yeah.
And like her mum, how she's like lost her mind.
Yeah,
And you see the
yeah.
episode where they like turn it up. This is like super high dose of acid. It's like fried her brain.
Right.
Yeah.
Fucking
And
hell.
now
I actually
her daughter's
didn't
born
pick
with, like,
up
the
on.
powers and that. Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's,
yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is my theory, but like that's what it is.
This is my theory, but it's definitely true.
Yeah. But it's like, the scientists, and they were like the scientists that they brought over from Germany after World War II
Yeah.
that had already been experimenting with all these drugs for Hitler and that sort of stuff. So like they say they invented methamphetamine for Hitler because he was like, you know, he needed like more in it. Like the meth was to like keep him awake, but then he was on all these downers to go to sleep. And then by the end, that's why he was so psychotic, because he was just on drugs all the time.
What the fuck? I didn't know
Yeah,
that,
they were
bro.
so like drugging him up to keep him going, and then drugging him to like put him down. And
Shit.
it's just like, you know, people lose their mind when they do a lot of drugs.
Yeah, well, fuck, history tells you he definitely did.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
hell. That's
Yeah.
fucking wild, dude.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me at all, though.
No,
Yeah, listening to that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there would have been like a lot of, if they were experimenting on how much acid people can take, then I'm sure it just
Oh yeah.
would have killed a lot and fucking done all sorts of shit.
Yeah, and like they were experimenting. People was like, poor people would come in, they could get money for being part of experiment, like, you know, any clinical drug trial, you can get money. But there's also criminals and that sort of stuff, or, you know, people who society aren't going to miss. So if anything did go wrong, oh well, who like just, you know.
And this is why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah. Like they just do crook shit, and
Yeah.
you know, how far down the rabbit hole you want to go with people going missing and that sort of stuff. Like, well, you know, that's what. Yeah. I don't know if the FBI rock up.
Nah, we better not get too hectic with what we know.
Dude, I was talking to Barty, my housemate, the other day, and we were having this conversation about classified stuff. I was talking to a customer at work, and we were talking about some deep shit. And I made a joke to the customer at work that like had a webcam, and I was like, "Oh yeah, like they're listening." And then a car pulls up with the lights on at the front.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, see, there's a fucking car here. They're listening to us." And then there's a knock on the door, and I literally freaked. I shit my pants. But it was someone coming over to see Barty, and she was like, the fear in your eyes. I was like, "Yeah, that was weird." Because I had no idea. I don't know. Like it's a bit ridiculous for me to get like that. But I was like, "Whoa."
So, it's fucking not really ridiculous, man. Like, have you seen when you speak about something and then like an ad will come up,
Yeah.
like on your phone and shit, and all you've done is spoken about it, you haven't even talked about it.
I bought protein bars on Friday night. Grenade, if you want to sponsor me. They're so good. I bought it, and then the next day I saw an ad for it, and I just paid with my phone. I didn't take a photo of it. I didn't talk about it. I did nothing. But I just like paid with my phone, so it would have been in there somewhere, like, you know, the receipt sort of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I didn't look at it, didn't say it, didn't take a photo of it, nothing. And somehow an ad for it that I've never seen before, and then I purchased it. It's there.
We have one, this was literally like a couple of nights ago. The partner and I was watching TV, and we had targeted ads on our telly. And I was like, okay. I was fair enough. I thought with my phone that like, not fair enough, fucking far from fair enough. But like I'm sort of used to it now on my phone, but I didn't realize it was like coming through the TV as well, because that's like a smart TV.
Yeah.
And
Too smart.
Yeah, and it had like targeted ads for website building. And I was like, I've never seen a website building ad on telly.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Well, let's, now that you brought it up, let's talk about that. So Spiritual Concepts started as, sharing spiritual videos, that sort of stuff after, the inspiration from the Dolores Cannon books. Yeah. We talk about more of that, like what made you decide to start sharing stuff and then to what you're building now?
Yeah. I mentioned on a video not long ago, but like as I was getting more and more followers coming through, and like all the right people are starting to follow me as well, like all the people in the spiritual area. And just from curiosity, I was having a look at these profiles and just seeing these people who are doing like breath work and hypnosis, yoga, all those sorts of things. And they were just doing some really, really good work, but they just weren't getting like any sort of traction. And that's when the idea popped into my head, and I was like, well, why can't I just try and help these people out myself and make a platform where I can just have all of these like people in one area, and not only will it help like these practitioners get exposure, but it just helps people who are looking for practitioners as well to have this just one page where there's just a barrage of people to look from and whatnot. So yeah, that's where the inspiration came from. And to be honest as well, I've been like looking a lot lately to do something that is more fulfilling to me. So like I've been plumbing for 10 years now, and it's just like the most unfulfilling job you could ever get. And then now that I've got all this like spiritual knowledge, it's just made me really want to help out people, and made me want to sort of find something fulfilling that I can do. What was I going to say? I've gone. But
That's
anyway,
all right. Did you want to explain like what the website is for people that don't know?
Yeah. So. Wait, didn't I just explain it?
Well, I guess like you said, it's like a platform. So how people could like get involved, what people can be looking for. So
that's cool. So pretty much, if you want to get involved, it's spiritual.concepts on Instagram, or it's spiritualconcepts.com.au. Pretty much all the information's on the website. If you do want to be a practitioner, or if you just want to find some practitioners to give you a little bit of help, then jump on that website. It's still very early, so I'm still like I know I'm not selling it very well right now because it's still very like early days. But
Well, what's the goal then for those that we might look back and be like, this is where we're starting. You could look back and go, you've built something huge, helping a lot of people. What is your vision then?
Well, fuck. I haven't even really looked that far. What the vision is just to have a place where like these people can just be seen, and then like for us like a really cheap price, I guess. The vision is just having like thousands on there, man, and and practitioners can, even on the website, which is what I'm going to start building as well, is like blogs and stuff where like people can all chat together and all that sort of stuff. And I guess the vision is just to create sort of like a community of just wellness and good shit on there.
Yeah, I think it's a really great concept. Pun intended. I definitely agree. I see so many people that that pop up on my Instagram feed, and it's coach this, healer that, whatever modality is high, like Reiki or breathwork, that sort of thing. And then I have like 200 followers.
Yeah.
And they could be doing really cool stuff, be a really great person with the best intentions, best heart.
Yeah.
Like 200 follow, like only 200 people, and then you think about the algorithms, like, you know, the percentage of people that are going to see that, they're going to like it, they're going to watch the whole video, that are going to engage.
Yeah.
And then they've got to do all of that to get to the point of clicking to buy something, to book something.
Yeah, exactly right. They're just stuck in an algorithm, and like, if you've just got 200 followers, you're sort of stuck in that area of getting like X amount of views, and yeah, that's what the whole sort of idea was. It's just like, let's get them out of this algorithm and into the website world where it can be Googled, and then you can be found through Google and all that sort of stuff now as well. Yeah,
I think it's awesome. And then also like creates an opportunity for, you know, like I just ran the workshop with Miller. If you're on the same hub, like, I saw you there, oh, you're in the similar area, like let's collaborate. It gives opportunity to expand knowledge, consciousness, like just that sense of community, because like, oh, I'm doing similar stuff, and then you can like see location, where are we, we're nearby, hey, like let's hang out, let's share ideas, let's create something as well. Like I think it's really cool.
That's where this world's going, man. Oh, that's what I envision for where the world's going, is just a lot more connection.
Yeah.
A lot more healing. Like a lot of people just need it in these crazy times, I reckon. And and just to be a part of it and helping push that. Yeah. I just think that's where we're all going and where we need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the shit that you're doing is just fucking unreal as well, bro.
Thanks.
It really is. That. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like the same sort of reason, like why you started yours is the same reason I started mine. I was like, I saw the need for it, and I was involved in communities that were mostly women. I was like, how can I, you know, this is doing so much for me. How can I get other guys to get on board? How can I share this to other people? I was like, well, fuck, I guess I'll just make my own.
Yeah.
And that was the inspiration behind Men Over Matter, was to create a community for men, because I thought that's what we were missing.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I felt like I was missing as well. Like,
there's this huge like connotation with men to like bottle feelings and like not say anything.
Yeah.
And it's just got to be deleted, man, because like men feel just as much as women do, and
100%.
but we just don't put it on the surface, but we should, man. It's and what you're pushing is fucking unreal.
Yeah. How's your relationship with your male friends changed, or like, or what's their perception of the change within you been like with them? How's that been received?
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. I know they're noticing like a huge change. They actually like hit me up the other day because I've been a little bit distant from them. They're saying like, what's going on? And because a lot of like what we do when we hang out together, we like playing games and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, just recently I've just been just absolutely flat out with like hanging on to a full-time job, and then as well trying to build something that I want to do in the future. But no, they've been super understanding, which has been good. I've got like, I hope they start like moving with me as I'm moving along. That would be really nice. And like a few of my mates are taking on some of these concepts, and I'm seeing as well, not just my like mates, but I'm seeing like my family as well starting to sort of take in all this new shit. So yeah, it's been good. I guess as you start to change your own reality,
100%,
everything else around you starts to mirror and match that, doesn't it? So I'm seeing like my brother, he messaged me the other day and he's like, how do you meditate? And I'm like, because he's just started reading the Dolores books as well, and he texted me, how do you meditate? And I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll tell you.
It's so good.
So yeah, everyone's taking it well. My parents are taking it extremely well, actually, to be honest. Like for people, like I said earlier on, who are sort of stuck in that, like watching the news and all that sort of thing, and then but the whole man calls me a bit of a hoo-ha, but like they listen and they're loving it, so which is good.
Because probably they've saw the change between like, you know, you call your mum up saying like, oh, come home, I need to spill my, you know, everything to you, to like where you are now. I'm sure to them, they're so happy to see you, the state you are now, than them. They're like, all right, well, this obviously works.
Yeah, for sure. They are, man. And like even my old man, he's been telling me about these pretty much, he's an astral traveler, bro.
Yeah.
And he's just like started opening up to me recently about it. And he tells me about these like dreams that he's been having where he like leaves his body, but he can go to places that he knows and all that sort of shit. I'm like, yeah, that's astral traveling, Dad. Dad's just like the most Aussie, like typical Aussie tradie bloke. Like, nah, man, nah, that's just fucking dreams, mate. Like, I'm like, nah, Dad, you're astral traveling. Like, that's what you're doing. And he's like, nah, fuck off, mate. Nah, it's just dreams. And then he'll come to me later. Yeah, but if you ever leave your body, like, he'll give you like little tips and tricks about it and shit.
That's so cool.
Have you heard much about like astral travel and shit?
Yeah, but I just don't. I haven't experienced it myself, and I'm not like a visual person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you want to talk about it, please enlighten me.
Yeah. Well, where do I start? When I started this spiritual journey, I started like hunting around like what I wanted to do within this, like within the space of spirituality. So I ended up buying this from, have you heard of Elizabeth April?
Definitely sounds familiar, but
She's like a remote viewer. She's very like prominent on Instagram and shit. She sold this course for like remote viewing. So I was like, oh, I'll give it a crack. And went through the course. It didn't like really work, but my focus was on it.
for those who don't know what remote viewing is, do you want to explain that?
Yeah, remote viewing is being able to take your astral body out from your physical body and you can literally just travel around the earth. So there's a difference between remote viewing and astral travel. Astral travel is more in the like woo-wah land where things don't really make sense, but you know you're not in your physical body, you know you've left your conscious, you know you're not dreaming, but the realm is a bit fucking woo. Whereas remote viewing, you can travel to anywhere on the earth or even outside of earth as well. And yeah, that's essentially what it is. So I wanted to do it because I was like, that sounds fucking so cool. I'd love to just leave my body and be able to go places, go check out some secret government things and whatnot. Yeah.
See what they're actually doing, yeah.
So I started doing that, and then like I didn't get huge results, but it would come up, what's the word, like spontaneously. So I'd be sleeping and then I sort of wake up in my dream, which is called a lucid dream. Like, have you ever had that where you like wake up in your dream, you know you're dreaming and you're able to like, so that is like the perfect spot to be able to leave your body. So when you're in that lucid dream state. And so that was coming up like more regularly as my focus was on it, and I was getting into the lucid dream state. And then trying to get out of my body, it failed. But like, yeah, I had this one time where hit the lucid dream state. I was actually sleeping on this couch. And then I was like, all right, lift out. And I started like lifting out. And I could feel that I was like out of my body, but I couldn't see. Like I couldn't open like what they call the third eye. And couldn't open the third eye, but like I could feel I was on the couch. I could feel I was like around. I was like, but I can't see. And ended up going back in. But then it would have been maybe like a month later is where I had like the full experience. Had a lucid dream, same again. And what happens is I get this like, it's called the vibrational state where your brain just starts going like, just like making these huge vibrations. And that's like the spot where you're able to come out. Did it, popped out, couldn't see again as always. And then I was like, no, I want to see. Like, I want to see. And then next, my vision opened up and I was like, holy shit. I was in my room upstairs and then I was like, all right, I'm out, let's go. Jumped outside, but that's when it turned into like more astral realmy and I felt really light. And then I started like running and I was like fucking zooming around and shit. I was like, this is fucking unreal. And then this is where it gets like a little weird. So like in the astral realm, I was sort of out the front and then I zoomed off, but then I was like completely somewhere else. And then I went and jumped over like this mountain into water. And then I thought in my head, no, I want to go see the pyramids. So I just went all right, I want to see the pyramids. And it felt like a little click. And then next, you know, I was sort of floating over what I thought was the pyramids, but they were like a balloon, like a deflated jumping castle. And they started like inflating up. And I was like, oh, so that's how they were built. Just and then I sort of freaked out once I was in that space. I was like, fuck, I reckon I'm pretty far from my body now. And then within like a literal, like I was like, I need to go back. And then a little jolt in my body and I woke up. And after I was like, woke up the middle, was like, I should travel. I was pumped. But yeah, that's what the astral realm is. Sounds a bit woo-wah, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And once I told my old man that story, that's when he started opening up and being like, wow, it's interesting you say that because this is what I can do as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's hereditary, like it's passed down, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Damn. Well, do you see stuff when you meditate as well then?
Very like, pretty rarely, to be honest, pretty rarely. It's usually like just black, but actually just recently I've been like unlocking a little bit more deeper shit with my meditations. So it was after we had like a bout of DMT. So after the DMT experience, during the DMT experience, I had this really cool experience of like other beings that were healing my head, and I could feel them like prodding and poking and like moving around, and it just felt really, really nice. And then, but since then, when I meditate, if I'm able to get into a deep enough meditative state, I can activate that feeling and those prodding and pushes and like this like head healing. So I don't get like visuals as much, but I get like feelings now and like, yeah, just feelings.
It's cool. Yeah. I think that's like reminds me of what we were talking about with Ram Dass off camera. Like you don't need the psychedelics to have the experience, but it can be that like key to open the door to what's possible.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't have the exact same visuals, but you can still do it again, like without the need of it. It's just kind of like, it expands your consciousness, like opens your mind.
Yeah. To what's like really possible.
Yeah,
That's the best part of like psychedelics and shit, man, because it's just, I think we said it before, off camera, it just opens your mind to the veil of like possibilities of what's really out there. Well, that's what I believe anyways. For sure. Yeah,
for sure. Like I think it can be a tool. I wouldn't use it as a crutch though. Like I wouldn't use that. Like if every time you want to have a spiritual experience, you do that. It's like the opposite. If it's going to have the opposite impact because you're using something that makes you less conscious to gain more consciousness, you know?
Yeah, and then like searching outside of you to have a spiritual experience.
Exactly.
Instead, you should use it at first, have the spiritual experience, and then after that, sort of try and chase that in your general life.
Yeah, like you don't watch plumbing videos for your apprenticeship. You do the plumbing yourself as your apprenticeship.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have like... Yeah, mushrooms mushrooms, they go deeper, I think, as well, to like deep embedded mindset stuff tends to like come out through mushrooms. If you've ever, have you ever had like a negative experience with
no negatives.
Not negatives. Like
maybe like periods where you're like, oh, like, you know,
unsure.
But never like, never a negative experience.
Yeah, I had a it's actually, it's a pretty wild story, but we'll get into it. This is the first time ever I did mushrooms. I was with my missus and my best mate, and like we had the greatest time ever. Like it was just nothing but full of laughs, a bit of visuals going around, and then like just nothing but happiness. And then all of a sudden I just started not feeling good, and I was like, oh, I don't feel good right now. So abruptly I sort of got up And I was just like, sorry, I'm going to bed. And I was like, what the fuck? We were just having such a good time. And then went up to bed and I started laying there. And then I got these like intense feeling that I was going to die. And I was like, holy fuck, I'm going to die. I'm dying right now. I'm about to die. So I got up. I started telling all of them, I was like, I don't feel right now. Something's wrong. I'm going to die. And they're like, all right, like, calm down. Like, you're okay. And I was like, nah, nothing could get me through like this mindset of I was going to die. They put me in the shower to like calm me down, and then that didn't work. And I was like, no, you just need to call the ambulance. So I called the ambulance. The ambulance checked me out, and they're like, you're fine. Your vitals are fine. There's nothing wrong with you. And I just wouldn't believe them. And I was like, no, you aren't seeing what's going on. Like, I'm not feeling right. I'm gonna die. I need to go to the hospital. And I just like walked myself out to their van and like parked myself in there.
Get in, losers.
In their chair. And then the missus ended up coming with me, and that just like spiraled to the point where I was like laying in the back of the ambulance van. In my head, they were like speeding to get to the hospital to save my life and shit. And I was just like sitting there going like, I can't believe I'm fucking dying right now. And got to the hospital. They parked me up in like a hallway because I just wasn't worthy enough for a fucking proper spot. They just parked me up in a hallway. But in my head still, I was like, oh, this is where everyone comes to die. And fucking, I was holding on to the missus ring that like her engagement ring, and I was looking at it and I was just so shattered. I was like, I can't believe I'm leaving you and all that sort of shit. It's actually fucking really hectic. But yeah, and then it was after about an hour, the missus comes to me and she goes, can we go now? And I'm like, snapped out of it. And I was like, that was a fucking trip. I was like, get me the hell out of here. But like, what that sort of unlocked, now that I look back deeper into it, yeah, it was a lack of appreciation for what I had in this life, I reckon, was a deep meaning in that. But then as well, a feeling of attachment to this life as well. And then feeling like if I die, it's all over and it's the end sort of thing. And like being way too attached to this like physical 3D. Yeah. And they were the two two things I took from it. But as well, like it unlocked what I didn't realize I had, which was like a fear of death. Which fucking, I swear, like a lot of people would have that fear, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, but I didn't realize how like deep rooted that fear was. And even, this was only a couple of months ago when I had that DMT, those old feelings came back again. And I was like, fucking like, yeah, that's something like, I reckon that it's trying to there's something like deeper that it's trying to tell me about like this fear of death, for sure.
Do you reckon you've had a life cut short in a past life?
Maybe.
It's like,
yeah, it could well be, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I had some pretty like heavy experiences when I was a kid in terms of death. I would have been about 5 years old, and we were walking back from school, me and my old lady, and this is when we were living in like a caravan park in Kananook, and we were walking over like the Kananook Creek, and there was just like a dead body in the creek, and that was like pretty heavy when I was like 5. But then even like later on in life, I would have been about 16, coming home from school on a train, and we're going along the train, and then the train just suddenly stopped, and we were like, what's going on? And we like pried the doors open because we'll ride at like an intersection like where cars had sort of stopped, and these people were like all out of their cars and shit, like going like that and shit. And we pried the doors open, and then this dude was like, he's fucking dead. And then the whole carriage just started to sort of panic. And And this one lady started having like a full panic attack on the carriage. So we sort of had to get the doors open on the other side to start like getting some people out to get some air. And then like as we jumped out, I don't want to get like too gross on this, but like as we jumped out, we just saw a lot of like what was like sprawled out. And then because it was at school time, there was these bunch of kids that were just like beginning to walk towards that intersection. So me and our mates like took it upon ourselves to sort of stand in front of like what was left of this person, just to sort of cover it up so these like young kids wouldn't come past and see. And I think that was like, I think that was a deep, deep trauma of like death that had resurfaced from mushrooms.
Yeah. 5 years old. Cannell Creek, that place has some, would have plenty of stories, and it's very notorious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for fucking body dumping and shit like that. I was unfortunate enough to see one at bloody 5 years old.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
As we spoke about earlier, for some reason we signed a contract and that's the life we chose. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You knew that you were going to see a child at 5 and have that experience at 16. Who knows, like, what for? But
yeah, well, it could be exactly what you said earlier, is maybe it was a past life thing that I'm trying to work through. So it's like exposing me to little experiences of death.
Yeah.
Who knows? That's the whole fun. That's the fun about like this like spiritual world, is just like knowing that there is like past lives and knowing that there is more out there, and then like just being super curious of like, you know, well, what was my last past life and shit like that. I think that's just what makes it so interesting.
Have you done any past life work yourself?
Nah. I should, but I haven't.
Yeah.
I don't know why I haven't, because it's something that's been like literally the start of my story was past life, like regression. But I just haven't. Maybe my past lives weren't even on this earth. Who knows?
You never know. There's only one way to find out. Oh, maybe there's more than one way to find out. But, you know. But I do have a friend, Charlene, who's doing past life regressions, so I can put you in contact with her if you want. And if anyone else wants to know, hit me up and I'll pass you all her details. But yeah, she's pretty cool. She's into like shamanism and that sort of stuff as well. So
Yeah, sweet.
yeah. I forgot what else I was going to say.
That is the story of my life. That is like what ADHD is, bro.
Oh,
It's like attention deficit disorder. So like sometimes it happened earlier. You'll ask a question and then my brain will just go, phew, and it just will not like focus on what you're asking me.
So this relates to what I realised I was going to ask you about past lives and stuff.
There you go.
Because ADHD, from what I've read, can be like, shows up a lot with kids that have trauma because it's dissociative.
Right.
So like, do you reckon, because of like 5 years old is pretty young, do you think that would have like had an impact with ADHD or ADD, or did it like, well, that was like before 5, that was always there?
Yeah, I got diagnosed when I was like 3 or something like that. Yeah. So my old lady went to the doctors for herself, being like, I'm so tired and have no energy and shit. Then the doctor sort of said, stop for a second, and then looked at me, and I was like, and the doctor's like, that's why you're tired. And then he ended up diagnosing me with ADHD when I was like 3. But thank God my mum, on the spot, as they do, he tried to get me on Ritalin. And the old lady was just like, no, you're not fucking drugging him up. He's fine. Yeah. He's just energetic. Like, thank you, Mum. Because I just know that, dumbing down or putting anything in to slow down an energetic kid, it just can't be the right way to develop, bro.
No,
So, thank fuck Mum did that for me. Especially at 3 years old, they wanted to start drugging me up. Like, bruh.
I was talking to a bloke this morning in the sauna, his son, same thing. They tried him on Ritalin and it just made him depressed.
It's
like limiting yourself as well, I guess. Like, it was like, for me, I see, you know, people with ADHD. I'm like, fuck, I wish I had that sort of energy to be able to do all that sort of stuff and keep going and just like pinging off the wall. Like, I wish I had that. I'm dead, man. I'd like punch caffeine like no tomorrow just to keep going.
Yeah, me too. So there's different types. So ADHD, it's attention so ADHD, sorry, is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and that's the people that are very like go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Whereas mine, I think, is just ADD, which is attention deficit disorder,
okay.
where I like struggle to hold my attention.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what comes with it is my brain is just always like tick, 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 like constant thoughts all the time, doesn't stop, and it makes it like really hard to meditate and switch off. So yeah, my brain is hyperactive, but like I don't run around like a crazy man or nothing like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your mum did medicate you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did she have other ways of like managing it, or was it just like, all right, this is going to be hard, but that's what we're living?
Yeah, well, the old lady is just a patient like gem, bro. So yeah, that I guess they had their own tips and tricks, like tricks to help manage me, but they ended up fine, bro.
Yeah.
I ended up fine. I didn't need the Ritalin or anything like that.
Yeah.
Mum was telling me a story. This was only not long ago, but apparently I was being a little shit at school, as I always was. And Mum was like, why do you have to be so naughty all the time? And I was like, Mum, I can't help it. It's like, oh, poor Mum.
It's funny though, because like I feel like kids can't. You can just see it. It's like an impulse that they can't control.
Yeah. It's actually like touched on in the Dolores Cannon books. That it's in the book 3 Waves of Volunteers. So the book is about the 3 waves of people that are coming to Earth to help raise the consciousness and help out. The first wave was like around the 60s to 80s. Second wave, 80s to like 2000s, and then 2000s to now. And it just talks about in that book because the souls that are coming in to help Earth sort of raise their consciousness and help the people transcend. The souls that are coming in are highly energetic souls, and they're like very, what's the word? Like highly developed souls. So that's coming through as ADHD. And that's why like the sort of influx of ADHD has been so huge in the last like 30, 40 years. It's just high energetic souls, man. And to go and put these high energetic souls on Ritalin and something that's going to dumb them down is just the absolute opposite of what you should be doing.
Well, for the parents of the kids that are potentially listening with that stuff, what advice would you give them as a kid who lived through it? Yeah,
well, I don't know. You can sort of see my relaxed notion now. Like I lived through it fine. I didn't feel any different to any other kids. I might have been high energetic and a little bit of a shit when I was younger, but that started growing out once I was coming into my teens. I started to relax more, and the only thing is a hyperactive mind. But at the same time, there's sometimes like a superpower behind it as well, is what people call hyperfocus, which is what got that website finished that I did in about 2 months. Was we're like able to use our hyperactive mind into something if we're passionate about it and really just go for it, and then and go and go and go and go. So it's more of it can be a superpower than anything.
Yeah.
So, if there is parents with kids with ADHD, look, it might be tough, but I promise they will end up fine and dandy.
Yeah, I think I was going to ask, do you find it can be a superpower? Because I ask everyone I meet that has it, that because, you can just lock in on something that you're, same with autism as well.
Yeah.
Like there's forms that they're just like, this is their thing and that's all they're doing, they're interested in. And if you can channel that much energy into something good. You just need to, and that's why I think communities and environments that you put your kids in are more important than medicating them and like school, because school's, just a system to create employees, right?
Yeah.
Put them in the right environment that suits them, that they can thrive in. That's
Yeah.
creates the opportunity for them to lean into their superpower.
Yeah,
You know?
thrive, man. Actually, sorry, in saying that, what my parents did was put me into footy, man.
Yeah.
And I just loved it, like, because
Yeah.
I was just highly energetic. All I would do after school, I'd kick the footy around and play footy, and that was my sort of, like, their way of getting my energy out was through sport. So
Yeah.
that could be another good tip for the
Yeah,
parents out there.
100%,
Sport's
yeah.
the way to go for kids like that.
Yeah. And yeah, you're in a team environment with mates, you're doing social stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you learn a lot more social skills just being around other people playing sport than you're going to sit in the classroom with, your legs crossed and writing down stuff you don't give a shit about, and then you're
Literally.
comparing yourself for your grades to all these other kids, and constantly trying to one up each other versus being on a footy team, all sharing one collective goal.
Yeah.
I think that's way more important.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
Yeah. Have you and Liz talked about having kids anytime soon? Been together for a while.
Yeah, we've been together for 9 years. Yeah, it's been talked about, but we're pretty solid on not having kids.
Oh, yeah, at all?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Our dreams together is to travel the world. And, we both don't feel like inclined to have children. I don't know if it's like a karmic thing where we don't want to sort of lock into the karma of a kid, but it just doesn't interest us to have children, man.
Yeah, cool.
We're pretty happy, like, together. Our company together is fucking awesome. So yeah, we feel like we don't need to add to that, and then and as well, we just want to travel the world. So that's our main dream.
Yeah. That's awesome. Can you touch more on karma?
Yeah.
Because that's something I really like. Every movement, everything I do now is like thinking about the repercussions of my action.
Yeah.
So I'd love to get your thoughts on it. And like, you touched on it, the karma of bringing in a kid.
Yeah.
Let's go into karma.
Karma. So karma essentially is what you give is what you get back. So say, for example, you do somebody wrong heavily, small actions like you can sort of get away with, but if you do someone wrong heavily, you need to, on this like earth cycle and this earth karmic cycle, you need to repay that in, say, your next life. So the roles will switch. Say if you do someone dirty in this life, the roles will switch where they will do something dirty to you, so you can feel the processes of your own actions. And that's the very condensed version of like what karma is.
Yeah. And it's like that, it'll be the same soul, not the same body, same person, but the same soul. You'll just keep repeating the karma until you sort it out, until you pay it, until you change. And that's why, again, it's not a fact, but you feel like there's been conflict in the Middle East for centuries, and until they, solve it, it'll keep happening. Essentially, like, they're just going to be born on either side of the fight, keep killing each other, and until they start to, one by one go, this isn't right, like, I'm not going to kill you.
Yeah.
It's going to keep coming up because your souls are eternally linked until you break the karma.
That's exactly how it works, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's why we're in the world we're in now.
Yeah. And it makes you think, like, when you sort of think about the karmic cycle, it makes you take things a little bit differently. So, like, say if somebody does something like hectically bad to you, it sort of makes you think, okay, that experience happened, so it was, say, contracted to happen. Like, there's a potential that I did that to them in their past life, or and it just makes you take it a little bit differently. Where someone does you wrong, it's like, well, why did I attract that? Why did I attract that experience towards me? Is it because of something that I needed to clear myself? And it sort of makes it a little bit easier to deal with like negative situations. Yeah.
Yeah, I was speaking with someone about this the other week, about having agency, like to owning your shit, good or bad. If it happens to you, if you do it to someone, you're always responsible when you think about it, like karmically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why did this experience come into my life? And like, you know, you might, like, someone's stolen money from you. It's not like they stole money from me. It's like, well, let's think about it here. Let's look back.
Yeah.
Where have you done someone else wrong? What did you do to deserve it? Like, why did your partner cheat on you or break up with you? What did you do to deserve it? And it's not like, you know, just an easy black and white thing. But if you look deep enough, or it could be a past life or whatever, it's like, well, the karma was there, that was laid out in the contract, and it's just been repaid.
Yeah. I had like one moment where I really knew straight away that this was a karmic thing. I had like $4,000 scammed off me by this dude. I won't go too deep into the story, but like, yeah, he was on the phone, and like, I knew it was a scam. Like, I knew it was, but I didn't like stop. And then like, I sort of like almost let it happen.
Yeah.
And then, he took like $4,000 from me. And then after it, I was like, that was the biggest karmic thing I've ever been involved with. Like, clearly I'd done something maybe in a past life or something like that, and I felt empty after it, and like that feeling of emptiness and being stolen from. And then I was like, all right, that was a fucking karmic thing that I needed to get through. And then I sort of went, and the thing is, the dude that's stealing it from me, like he could have been the dude that I fucking, that I rinsed in the last life, or he could be a dude that's just created his own new karma, and now he's going to get stolen from in another situation. So, but yeah, that was the strongest, where I was like, fuck, I just went through a little karmic action just then. The fact that I couldn't say like no, it was weird.
Well, karmic, transfer of energy. So the Dolores Cannon book, so you finished all 19? And you were saying up to 19 hours they go for as well to listen to.
Yeah, like anywhere ranged from about 8 hours per book to, some of the big boys got to 19. It was just an array of information that, like, if anyone... Look, I'd highly recommend, like, people to read it, because it is such a good way to start into, like, this sort of, like, hoo-ha realm. Just because it sort of slowly gets you from, like, past lives, and then it like drip feeds you to like death, and then it gets further with energy and all that sort of thing, and then it progresses. By the 19th book, it talks about shit that you wouldn't even like, you're just like, what the hell? But cool. I highly recommend it for people who haven't like jumped into the realm of spirituality yet, because it's just a good way to start. How's leaning into spirituality improved your relationship? Improved my relationship.
Improved it.
Oh, fuck, man, in every way. Like, it's changed me in a way that I can't even describe, man. More so what we were just talking about, knowing now the consequences of your actions and stuff like that, it makes you sort of take a step back and go, fuck, like, I need to really think about what I'm doing, and like even like little things like littering and shit like that. Like, I don't do it anymore.
I've literally said this on a podcast now. Like, I can't walk past rubbish because I'm like, I've actively chosen to leave it there if I walk past it. So I've got to pick it up. Otherwise, someone's watching. Well, when you realise that someone really is fucking watching, whether it is just yourself that's watching, but it changes a lot, and it changes the way you love and appreciate when you like know that you've got some soul contracts with like your partner, and like you could have had soul contracts with them for lifetimes. It makes it more beautiful, I reckon. It's just improved my relationships greatly, and as well like seeing like I've got a couple of friends that aren't too much like in the realm or whatever, and I see like the mistakes that they're doing, and being able to be like yo, like, you shouldn't be doing that anymore because of this and this, and it improves in that sense as well, of teaching people like to do things just the nice and right way. Cool. What do obviously you're a plumber
Yeah.
and you are like looking to transition out now. This is backtracking a lot, but I also see this with the kids I coach and like just people I've met over the years. We just go into jobs with like not much thought. Was it something you like knew you were gonna do?
Yeah. No, I was like, I went into plumbing when I was like 16, but yeah, just because I thought that was the way to go. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. You just earn money, you work, you go home, you live and you die.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the moment I'm in a huge transition stage of like wanting to get out and do something fulfilling.
Yeah, I think it's a big, like, collective shift. I'm talking to so many people that are like, all right, I'm going to transition out, not just of a trade, of just their work, and do something so more fulfilling and meaningful.
Yeah.
And like that would be my advice to anyone in general, but like kids leaving school. Like I was having a conversation with an 18-year-old last night from footy, and he's like, "Oh, I just want to work, want to get out of school and just work. At least I'm getting paid." I'm like, school, you get to hang out with your mates for 6 hours a day. Yeah. Like, yes, I get sitting in class you don't care about sucks, but think about a job you don't care about, plus with people you don't care about, getting up earlier, getting home later, like all the other stuff, it sucks. Like, take a really conscious thought, decision-making process into your career.
Big time.
Yeah, because like you're going to spend a third of your life there, the other third in bed. Like, you want to be happy.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
I'm getting like, it's probably bad, but like I'm getting apprentices that are like coming through now. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I've asked them, like, I start questioning them, like, is this something you want to like do for a living? And they're like, oh, not really. I'm like, well, don't, bro. Like, find something while you're still like young and malleable. Like, find something that you're passionate about and chase it, bro. Because like this work, like this 9-to-5 like work thing with and just doing it to get a buck ain't it. Like, it's not the way to go, man.
No. I was doing the same when I was landscaping. I would have like work experience kids.
Yeah.
Or like kids would drop out from like EMC and they would come work with us. I'm like, you literally just left school because you don't like being there, and now you're doing like some shitty ass job that you don't want to do because you don't want to be at school. And they don't last long either. It's like you just left school because you didn't want to be there, and now you're like choosing slavery instead.
Yeah,
like,
literally. Yeah.
What?
You can't like blame anyone for it. It's just it's just the system that's been laid out for us of like what is normal and what we should do and what we can do and what we can't do. But that's what people like, I feel like myself and you are here for, is to start to change that script. Yeah. And it's one thing I've been saying to my missus lately is like, I can't wait to be the way shower for the people who are close to me, because like a lot of my friends and family and all that sort of shit are in that same realm, and like I want to be the way shower where I can like show them, look, I'm chasing my passion right now. And I'm getting the fuck out of this thing and doing something I love. Like everyone can do it. You just got to fucking do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like take a step forward, make it happen. Yeah. It's the same. I've watched my dad do jobs he's hated. Like, sorry, not hated. No, he doesn't care about his whole life. I've never seen, I don't reckon I've seen him happy ever. Yeah. Like, come home from work and go, I just had a really good day. Like, never. Yeah. You've got to do that 5 days a week, or I've seen him work 6-7 days a week. Yeah. You want to live your life like that? Like, for, retirement age now is 67. Like, who knows what it's going to be like by the time we're there. It might not ever come. Like, you don't want to waste 50 of the best years, 60 of the best years of your life without happiness.
100%. And look, if you want to do that, there's no judgment behind it, that's for sure. But like, it's just not the way. But the old system, I believe, is really starting to get exposed now. And you can sort of see it crumbling before everyone's eyes, I reckon. Yeah. And I don't think it's going to be much longer where this system of like literal slavery is going to be in place. I think it's going to get shut down. I think the Agenda 2030 will be the next big shift. Yeah. That's when the society was just split. Yeah. Well, in my world, for sure. In my reality, it's looking good.
Yeah.
The whole world's going to be love and light.
Yeah, we create our own reality. There's still going to be that deep demonic crap. It's just like we're just not going to be exposing ourselves to it, I hope. Yeah. I feel like that's why I'm really passionate about doing this and talking to different people that are doing good stuff, that have also endured some seriously bad shit. Because when you're in it, you think that is your life, that is the world. But like, yeah, as we were speaking about earlier, you can get out of it and there's so much good stuff out there. You just need to look and, yeah, trust that you'll get through whatever you're going through as well. Like, yeah, I definitely wasn't doing this forever. I definitely wasn't doing breath work or thought I was going to be doing anything like that or working in a bank or anything. Like, 5 years ago, I was living a completely different lifestyle.
Yeah.
But just lean into what you don't know, because you don't know what you don't know. And you might find some fucking magic in there.
Big time, man.
Yeah.
It's what like scares people the most is like getting out of your comfort zone, because like once you're sort of locked in, your body is just happy. It's not really happy, but it's just in that safe zone. That's something that I found like the hardest for myself in this transition is like just putting myself out there. Like it's been the most like uncomfortable feeling ever.
Yeah.
But I know it's what I got to do, and then it is in uncomfortability that you'll find more of yourself and more of the things that you can do once you finally sort of break that chain and get yourself out there.
Yeah. Love that. That's great. I'm going to clip that. Yeah, dude. There's no growth in the comfort zone. That's like the best quote, I think.
Yeah.
And I would encourage anyone to lean into something. If it scares you, ask yourself why.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of the time it's you're like, oh, fear of failure. It's like, well, fuck, if there was no and fear of failure, fear of judgment, if you were the only person in the world and you wanted to do it, what would you do? You would do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, what's Instagram going to think? What are my friends or family going to say? I was like, well, what if they weren't here to say anything? Would you do it? Yes, then fucking go and do it.
Yeah, fucking do it, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
The other thing is we need to check our values, because a lot of people are scared to try the other job because of money. And it's like, well, you get to the end of your life and you've got an extra $100,000, but you're unhappy. Are you going to be glad that you chose the more money, or are you going to fucking go, fuck, I wish I was happy?
Yeah.
Because like how often you hear of the stories of people on their deathbed going, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. And it's never, I wish I had more money. It's I wish I had more experiences, or I wish I told my kids I love them more, or that sort of stuff. So like if being the richest person in the world is important to you, then sure, lean into that. But if you're just trying to be happy, get free and live a fulfilling life, then don't sweat the money, working for a better job. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I don't think I've ever, like, if I've asked someone, like, what's the best moment of your life? It's never, it's when I bought this boat or nothing like that. It's never feeling like something that they've bought or purchased, or is when I got paid heaps from this or whatever. It's always something that's like sentimental, an experience or something like that. And so, yeah, money ain't the be all and end all. That's for sure. But at the same time, we are in a world that uses money as a currency to live. So you shouldn't put like a negative thing on money at the same time. Like you shouldn't be like, I don't need money because like I'm free and fucking all that sort of thing, because the world does work with this money thing. So you got to have that like happy relationship. But like what we're talking about is
don't let it control you.
Yeah, don't let it control you, and like don't chase something that you fucking hate because it pays more. Like,
yeah. Well, all right. What if this? If you were to die today, what would you look back and be like the happiest moment of your life is?
That would be traveling Australia with my partner. It's so funny. We spoke about this last night. Funny that you've asked me that, because it was our anniversary yesterday, and we were just going over like how far we've come together. And traveling Australia together was the absolute happiest I've ever been in my life, and that's why it's our dream to continue to travel the world. Because when it's just you and nature, and all you're doing is driving around chasing nature, that's like it's the most purest you will ever feel in your life. And yeah, that's number one for both of us. Both Australia and New Zealand, yeah, was probably the happiest and like our greatest moments, I reckon.
Any like particular moments?
It's too vast, bro. There's too many. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You could probably pinpoint a cool waterfall or pinpoint this and that, but it's the whole thing itself and that experience of doing it for months on end is where the happiness is.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's funny. I'm just having the thought like aims to travel the world. You can't. Oh, you could plumb around the world, but like it would be hard. But you can definitely own a website and make money online around the world, and that's why I think we do need money to survive. But you don't need to do the 9-to-5 grind that everyone thinks. It's go to uni or get a trade. It's like there's other ways around it. If you're really passionate about something, lean into that. Think about how can I monetize it, and that's so cool that you've found something now that you can lean into that hopefully can be a source of income to allow you the freedom to do the woo-woo stuff and to be able to do like your dream, and that's travel the world with your partner.
Yeah, and that was how it was very carefully articulated, was to find something that I'm like passionate about, but then I can still do it remotely as well. But in saying that, I still want to so my partner right now, she's studying to be a naturopath.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
So, so which you can do online and shit as well. But I still want to find something that like the website is cool and I'm going to put everything into that. But I still want to find something which I haven't found yet, but along those lines of like what I'm selling on my website.
Right. Like a modality that resonates with you most.
Yeah, big time. So like we're going on a mediumship retreat in Bali in like a month. And it's pretty much just like 5 days of nothing but training like your psychic mind. So,
dude, you speak to Brendan. He's doing that mediumship as well.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I listened to his podcast, bro. It was a good podcast. Yeah, true.
I'll put you in contact because he's got one. He told me he was putting our episode up this weekend, but you should have a chat with him as well. Froth it, I reckon.
Yeah, it's just, it's a curiosity, just to see where it goes. I know I'm very like intuitive and stuff, but as for full psychic, definitely not. Yeah, why not give it a go? That's why I'm doing it. I just want to find something else as well.
Mediumship, psychic stuff is really interesting to me because I'm a very like in my head person and I'm not a very visual person, and we'll say stuff and then it like happens, or this is just obviously coincidental if I asked you the question that you were just talking about. But I remember with my housemate, we were watching the footy and I was like saying exactly what the commentators were about to say, but like the exact verb that they were going to say as well, like, superb or something like that, which is like, it's not a niche word, but you're not hearing that every single word. I was like, that's crazy that they just said that. Or I was in the car with one of the boys at work, we were going to a site or whatever. And he was saying his ex, and I was like, oh, yeah. And I just, like, said a random name, like, guess, like, joking, saying, like, I was dating her, like, I've been with it, like, making a joke. And he's like, oh, what? And I was like, oh, yeah. And, like, just guessed her name. And I was like, that could be purely coincidence, but also, like, I don't think there are coincidences,
Yeah, I don't think it is, man. Yeah, because like it does happen too much, and a lot of the time you can like sort of brush it off, but like when you start putting a focus on it of how much you do like stuff like that, like where you can like quickly predict, like even while you're driving, like this guy's about to fucking fuck me here as he does, and they go and do it, like that is you being psychic, like that is you fully tapping into it, but like a lot of people just ignore it.
For sure, like I feel like I can read people really well. And it's like, all right, there's something here. But I've never given the energy to go do a mediumship retreat. So I can't wait to check back in. And see
we'll see how we go. I might know before you check back in with me. Script's about to check in with me.
Hey, man, just thought you were about to message me. I thought I'd let you know it was pretty good.
We'll see. But, I've tried like tarot as well. tarot didn't like quite like grab me. But yeah, we'll see. It's just a whole journey of just like figuring out yourself and what you want to do.
Yeah.
And like, it's all been so fresh for me. Like, this was only 2023, so I've only like been in this realm for a couple of years. And yeah, so it's all fresh. I'm fucking figuring out who I am, and it's fun, but man, like,
Yeah.
like I'm not just working away anymore thinking that this is it. Now I'm like, this isn't it, so what can be it? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like just chasing after fairies. Hopefully I can catch one.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's cool. Instead of like, you know, oh, what's on after work? Like, yeah, dinner, get ready for the next day of work. It's like, all right, like, I'm going to learn some shit.
Yeah.
Build towards something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. I love that.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good life to live.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah, I feel like even if it doesn't lead to anything crazy, you're living with purpose now rather than just getting through the day to get to the next one.
yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if like you said, if it doesn't work out, then whatever, try
Life
something
well
else.
lived,
Then,
yeah.
like, try something else. But like, if you keep in your passion and keep like trying these things, if none of them work out, but you do it for bloody 60 years, then you're literally living a lifetime of living in your passion, because you're just trying all these new things.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if none of them work out.
Yeah. Instead of just like a normal, boring, monotonous life of, oh yeah, I'm just doing that because that's life. And it's like, well, you get to the end of your life and you go, what did you do? I was like, I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Unfortunately, it's the case for a lot, but
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah. Spread the word. Hopefully people resonate. Hopefully people can jump on board and let's grow this shit. Expand the consciousness together. Yeah. Epic art. Thanks heaps, bro. Appreciate it. Cheers. Hope you did need to hear this.